there's no way to add a collaborator, but let's see. All right, I will just start this live, and but in the beginning of it, because this live is going to be saved, and then it will be on our IG for anyone who wants to get information about Urumuri women. So I will make this quick and easy for everyone to grasp the necessary information regarding this project, and most importantly on how to apply for the Urumuri Therapy Fund. And I have drafted some questions that like FAQs that some of the people might have regarding this project. And but if any other questions arise after the recording of this video, please, you can still reach out to us on all our social media platform, or email us on the info@urumuriwomen.org. So for those who don't know me, my name's Arberabose Aline Joyce, and I'm part of the team that is doing Urumuri Women project, and but my role in the project is running is the therapy fund manager. So which means I'm in charge of approving the request of the people who apply for the fund. So what is exactly is Urumuri Women? So Urumuri Women is part of a big project that we are implementing as for Rwandan-based feminists, and this project is actually called Documentation and Mental Health Support for Women Rights Defenders. And this project was started in collaboration with Kivina Nairobi. And we wanted initially to tell the stories of women rights defenders, and because we believe that more often their stories are not told, because being an activist and face of like presenting some of the issues that are going on in the community, if you're speaking about gender-based violence, if you're fighting for discrimination against LGBTQ rights, if you're speaking on teen pregnancies and etc., that because you're always at the face of like fighting these problems, people usually see you through your work instead of like knowing your story and what you fight for, what you do. And this leads to a lot of like cyberbullying attacks because people do not really understand, especially when it comes to feminist activists, that these are people. So we wanted to be able to create a project in which we're able to tell these stories and use all social media platform and our website to display the work that these people are doing, and give you a picture into their daily lives. So this project started about 2 months ago, I think about 2 months ago. And the first phase was basically like conducting needs assessment of the project. So we interviewed over 53 or talked to over 53 people in Rwanda who are doing the same kind of work in different areas, right? So we have people in GBV working with teen pregnancy, people in sexual reproductive health, people in gender justice, like across sector. And we were basically like trying to understand the work that they do, how they're involved in the community, and the issues they face on the ground. And as I mentioned, because this project was basically to be able to give mental health support, so we were wondering across the whole women rights defenders system mapping, how on a daily basis, how many like mental health issues that they face. Some of them, as we know, that they're actually working in a very very fast-paced, like environment, or very sensitive spaces, and you can imagine if you're like constantly receiving young girls who have been raped, or if you're working directly with young teen mothers, like it can take a toll on your emotion. And so we were like analyzing, but also because these are humans, they also have their own personal lives, and we women rights defenders also tend, because of the work that they do, to face a lot of different harassment or abuse in their workspace or in the public, on Twitter spaces. So we did that needs assessment to identify actually if the issues that we believe are going on in the community, women rights defenders also go through that. Some of it actually could also be stress, like because a lot of people do not work full time as activists, so they're doing their work and also going on the field or running or volunteering in different non-government organizations. So we conducted needs assessment. And the next phase after that, understanding the issues that our communities are facing, we're doing a docu-series. And this docu-series is going to involve interviewing different women or women rights defenders in this field to understand their story, as I mentioned. And don't worry, all the stories, all the interviews are going to be published on our social media platforms, and will be available for view either on YouTube or on our website. So stay tuned. And we're really excited for everyone who has accepted to be part of this documentary and telling us our story and telling us their story. So the third part of this project, which is the one that I'm implementing, is the therapy fund, right? The therapy fund, how it works is basically that between the beginning of May, so which was 1st May, until the end of August, we're going to be financially supporting women and their women rights defenders as a priority, and this is in their diversity, right? So wherever you work, whether you're based in Kigali or not, you can still apply for the fund. And we're going to also be financially supporting therapy services for beneficiaries of the people who work in organizations that have been identified. So in our needs assessment or system mapping, what we did is that you can register as an individual activist or women rights defender, or you can also register as an organization. So when you have an organization, it is okay to apply for either your staff or your beneficiaries, depending if you see that they can also benefit from this financial assistance to access mental health. So just to start from the beginning, to go back a little bit, it's like we fundamentally believe that providing this mental health support specifically for women rights defenders is a way to boost, I guess, solidarity and the way we work among each other. And also we believe that by providing access to wellness services to women is a way to build the movement in Rwanda, and also help women help others. So we strongly believe in solidarity, and this is a way of supporting that. So how to apply for Urumuri Therapy Fund? So basically it's very easy process. If you visit our website urumuriwomen.org, you would find, just like every website looks like, you'll find about us, where you can read more about this project. Like I mentioned, you can learn about the project, who's involved. You can even see our team, but you will also be able to see a tab or on a menu called Urumuri Therapy Fund. So when you click that, you will be able to get the basic details. So every therapy support we provide cannot exceed $30. So each therapy session with a specialist is $30 a session, and primarily to be able to provide equal access to all our beneficiaries or right holders of this project. All therapy sessions are to be held or through Luna platform. I will talk about Luna platform later on. And once when you read through, you can find a button called register. I think it's say register or apply, and then you can register. It's a very easy process. We just simply ask your names, and we ask a simple questions like intake to understand your level, where you are and why you're seeking therapy and how we can help you. But all the information in the application does not affect your application, and most importantly is not used for any other purposes other than like knowing exactly who's applying for the fund, because we want to be able to create priority. We will only be providing 150 free sessions to all people who would apply, so all together. So it's important we know who's a more priority. And but luckily, since this is the beginning of the project, we only have 3 beneficiaries in the program only, so there's still more spaces for people to apply. So yeah, you fill in the form and submit. Honestly, I think it only takes about 2 minutes max to fill in the form, because there's nothing like essays and all the questions asked. You can keep it to a minimum answer. So once you apply, you will 100% receive your response if you have been accepted to be into the program within the next 48 hours after you apply. So that's a guarantee. And once you've been accepted, the email that we will send to you details exactly like how to access your financial support. So how we do it currently is that we provide you with a unique payment codes that you can use to pay on the Luna platform. So whereas all therapy sessions are $30, for all Urumuri beneficiaries, you would use the code and then it would remove the financial aid. So if you are not accepted, here is something I wanted to mention. It must, some of the times it would depend to the fact that you probably, so like women right offenders are priority, and women in risky areas, or women who have had who are facing mental health crisis or have been having mental health issues are a priority. And we also focus on vulnerable communities. So most likely you will find the declination or not being accepted into the program is due to the fact that maybe you're not part of the beneficiaries. And this is to say, because people have asked before, can I apply for Urumuri Therapy Fund if I'm a man? Yes, you can apply if you're working in a women field or if you're helping women in your work. But you have to understand that this is a fund that was designed specifically for women. So like we have to put priorities in terms of what we're doing. If you're non-binary and identify as a woman, you're also like considered as a woman in this project, and you can apply for the fund. So yeah, and now who is allowed to apply? No. Okay, I want to talk about like so Urumuri Therapy Fund. Once we fund your therapy, you originally are given 6 free sessions on the platform, which can be used on the Luna platform, and you can choose your own therapist as you want. So we have worked to list different diversity of therapists on our platform, so you can choose whoever you want. If you want to change the therapist, you can do on your next session, but you can also send us an email in case you require a change of the therapy, or if any case something happened, you can let us know and we will follow it up. Secondly is if you were currently seeking therapy services, or you used to seek therapy services and you want to continue using your therapist, right? So if I was seeing my therapist from this house, and then I get my financial support. But then on the list of therapists we are working with on the Urumuri Fund, they're not listed. Feel free to email me, Aline Verawose at urumuriwomen.org, or send us an email at info@urumuriwomen.org, and then we will reach out to your therapist. So you can send us the details. We will reach out to your therapist to tell them about the program, and if they agree, you can see the therapist through the program. So we're very, very flexible in terms of like who the person wants to see, where do they want to see what, like on the platform you would see that you can seek your therapy services through a call. You can use your therapy services by setting up a Zoom video call. You can we are also putting different physical spaces in which, once you have selected your therapy, you can actually use your session. You can actually use your session to view your therapist in a physical space. This is to say that this is a new something we're working on, because originally we wanted to provide remote therapy services due to the fact that we wanted to allow that people who are even outside of Kigali can be able to apply for therapy services. Sorry I joined it late, but are you saying Urumuri has a list of... Yes. So basically, Urumuri is partnering up with different therapists, right? So how it works is, because we have our own personal agreements in terms of like the safety and privacy of our beneficiaries. We have different guidelines in terms of like women, because we're women right defenders. So it's very important to give trainings around like respect, consent, and all of it, even though these are professionals. And also all our prices, as I mentioned in the beginning, all our prices to therapists are standard, right? So every therapist working through this project gets the same pay. That's the reason why, because a lot of therapists across the continent have different prices, have different specialities. So that's why we have provided a general list of therapists to be used in this program. However, if you have a therapist that you were seeing or want to see, and they're not on the list of a list of people who are allowed to provide services during Urumuri project, you are very much welcome to email us or text us about the details of your therapist, and we will make sure to reach out to them, because we have seen that a lot of therapists are flexible to be part of the program. It would just be a matter of like reaching out to the person, telling them about our project, and also like letting them know that one of our beneficiaries who's been accepted would like to continue seeing that person. So we are very flexible in terms of helping, like even if the therapist you're seeing lives in some other parts of the world, but they're willing to provide your services on the platform remotely, we can also figure out how that would work. So we're a very flexible team, because fundamentally what we really want is for women to have access to wellness services. So where was I? I think I mentioned, yes, when you apply, when you get accepted, you have the first 3 free sessions on therapy, which you can use however you want, because you're the one to schedule your own sessions with the therapist that you want. You can choose either a video call, or book a physical space in one of our designated locations. But when your therapy sessions runs out and you still need to continue seeking health services, you don't have to reapply. Once you're a beneficiary, you just send us an email to let us know that you want to continue your therapy, and then we will provide you with the new vouchers. Another thing is that this therapy fund would only run, as I mentioned, between May and end of August. So there's no deadline in the healthcare journey or anything, but that means to be like this therapy round has to run, all therapy sessions have to happen between now and August. Yeah, one thing I wanted to mention in terms of the therapy fund, the therapists that are listed on the platform, we know that already one of the biggest challenges, because our platform, our network, our communications are in English, and we're still working to see how we can diversify that communication to include our local language, because it's very important. However, once you have managed to book a session, you between you and your therapist, you can use any language that you want. So if they're foreigners that speak Kinyarwanda, you can actually use Kinyarwanda. But we have equally members, both foreigners and Kinyarwanda people. We have people who are specialists in trauma, PTSD, depression and anxiety, how is it called? Substance abuse. We have people who are working on addiction. So we have a cross spectrum, I would say, of specialists. So you can choose whoever you want, and you can be able to see in their bio if what language they use, what specialty they have, experiences they have in the field. So it's a very, I guess, transparent process, and you are in charge of deciding who you have to go in session with. In case once you have been accepted, but one wishes to stop therapy, in case you don't need it anymore, or so for many of us, sometimes you go to therapy sessions, you do 1 or 2, 3 sessions, and you realize, I think I'm good, I'm gonna drop off this one. So in that case, the 3 remaining vouchers, you can send them to us, and then we will be able to assign them to another beneficiary. So I think that's on the therapy fund. As you can understand, it's very, very easy process, very flexible, very understanding, and I guess mostly because we're feminists. Feminists tend to be very nice human beings. So we're very flexible in all corners. Like, you can let us know. And if something during the application or during the time of like your mental health care journey, you feel like, okay, this needs to change, I don't like how this works, ABCD, you can always text us, email us, we would fix that issue right away. And once you've been accepted, all of those things I'm actually saying, they're there, so that's why we keep insisting on that. Is this only for people based in Rwanda? So yeah, this therapy is 100% designed for women rights defenders or people in Rwanda. So if you're like a Rwandan person who lives outside of Rwanda, you can also still apply. However, we are also flexible depending on where the person is and what their issue is. Feel free to apply, like I mentioned. For us, it's about priorities. Like, once you apply and then we see like this person can actually benefit from the project, honestly, we will be able to allow the person to be part of the project. But it's important to know, like I mentioned, the project is initially was designed for Rwanda and women in Rwandan women, and that's why we did a needs assessment among them, tell their stories through that program. However, when it comes to the therapy fund, we realize that this is an issue like across everyone, and we want to be able to provide a space for that, because the fund is there, and if anyone wants to access the services, please feel free to share them the link, and then they can apply, and we will see what we can do about it. Not forget, I'm the therapy fund manager. What is it? Yeah, so that's about the therapy fund. So I kept mentioning that all therapy sessions, you can access them through Luna. You can access all the therapists through Luna. So what is Luna? The reason why we partnered up with Luna on this project, first of all, I'm part of Luna, but Luna is also a feminist company, or a women's femtech company. It's designed to create a safe and trusted line between women and healthcare providers. So on Luna platform, you do not only seek therapy, you can also see a gynecologist or obstetricians. I always get that name wrong. So you can seek any healthcare services on the platform. You can also buy products that you want. But we partner up with them because I mentioned it's really important for Urumuri beneficiaries to feel safe, and also to allow people who are even outside of Kigali city to find access to the fund and to find access to the therapies that are available on the platform. So that's one of the reasons we partner up with it. The values meet and all of it. So if you are accepted to the program, you will be sent exactly on how to use the platform, how to access the therapist, how to book a session, how to enter the voucher. All of that will be there. And all the terms and conditions or policies around safety and privacy of this program are also listed on the Luna platform. But for those of you who want to check the platform before you apply, please feel free to visit the website. It's called www.lunahealth.co, not .com, co. And then you will be able to see like what kind of services are there, what kind of like things are provided. But every application has to go through Urumuri Therapy Fund. So if you access the services directly, you would have to like pay or be considered as a Luna member. I think that kind of sums up most of the questions around the therapy fund. If there's any other question, please feel free to ask. But as I mentioned, Urumuri Therapy Fund is part of the bigger Urumuri Women Project, which is a documentation and mental health support for women in Rwanda. And so the last part of this project, once this therapy fund, as I mentioned, would end on 25th of August. But in August, there's going to be an open application to do a retreat, a mental health retreat. That means, you know, having a time away in the nature with yoga, meditation, and also there will be trainings and toolkits to teach people on how you can, what's the word? English is failing me. How you can embody self-care or wellness tips on a daily basis, especially for people who have, you know, who are dealing with anxiety or stress on a daily basis. So that will be a time for that, and that will be a separate activity of the project to apply for. So the application is not all out for people who wants to apply to attend the retreat. But once it's out, please keep an eye on our social media platform or website to know how to apply. And then you can be part of our 2 days retreat to, you know, cleanse our mind and you know, be well together in this life. So I think that's almost it. And I will be hosting another info station on Twitter for people who wants to still learn about Urumuri women. But also feel free to like, honestly, to communicate with us, share with people, share with friends. This entire project is not ours. We designed it so women can be part of it. So if you have friends who you think would benefit from this financial support, please text us, email us, let us know. Let's see what we can do about it. For those who know me or my colleagues who are also part of this project, we're very flexible people. We're always ready to support in any way that we can. So do not feel held back. Let us know whatever that we can support, and we will do so. And so I guess I will see you on the next info session on Twitter, on our platform. And thank you for everyone who joined in. And this video is going to be posted on social media, so for those who want to go back and see what I mentioned. But that's all about Urumuri Women Project and exactly how to apply. So yeah, I will see you. Thank you so very much, and take care. Bye. The question is, how do you end this?